us are graduate students in sciences, and your writings of critiquing science and industry and all those relationships are things I also feel conflicted about. And I'm curious, what would redeem the university? Is it mainly the specialization? Like if we were talking to more people as students, do you think that would be a good counter to the industrial tendencies of universities, or how do we go about trying to bring some redemption?
Well, the population of universities is not very settled, you know. Students are transients by definition, and the faculty stir about and get offered a drink and $1,000 raise, and off they go. Here's something Wes Jackson and I have talked about at length. Suppose you ask a question like, where are we? Suppose a university addressed itself to a question like that. And then to go ahead, let's make a kind of a curriculum of questions. The next question would be, if you could figure out where you are, what's happened here? What has been the cost of what's happened here? What ought to be happening here? What will nature permit us to do here without damage? What would nature help us to do here? Well, you see, the university wouldn't be a university anymore of the present kind. It would have had to dissolve, because those questions can't be answered in a department. What's happened here? Good gracious. You got to have agronomists, ecologists, biologists of all kinds, mechanical engineers, chemists, folklorists, historians. English department surely could get wedged in somehow. But you see, you'd be having a conversation that would lead to knowledge of a local kind, but it would begin to get these people's heads wrapped in the place and its fate. What would come out of that, I can't predict, but I think it would be wonderful. It would be wonderful to enlarge the context, not necessarily do away with specialized studies. You've got to have specialists within limits. I mean, if you want a brick house built, you want a bricklayer. You don't want somebody who thinks it would be fun to play with bricks for a few weeks. But it would enlarge the context of their thought. And it would enlarge the sense of consequence, so that you begin to realize how people live with consequences and how they make more consequences, for better or worse. Every place they inhabit, they're living with results. And so that's what I think of. Wes told me once on the telephone that he'd visited a university, and he'd kind of wandered around a while by himself, and he saw that it had a library and laboratories, well equipped, classrooms, dining halls, dormitories, and he thought this would be a hell of a good place to have a school.